Hello all, welcome back to Career with Vasanth YouTube channel. My name is Vasanth. With me I have Vinay. So Vinay is a BCA graduate, and after completing BCA, he is currently spending almost 10 months in MERN stack course. More about Vinay himself will be explaining. This particular interview is going to be focused on some basic questions of JavaScript and React.js. We are also going to spend some time on solving a real React.js scenario-driven question. Okay. So if any question, if Vinay do not answer properly, I'm going to answer them at the end of the video. So please watch the till end of the video for all the questions and answers. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, Career with Vasanth, please subscribe. I'll be bringing more such good content and you don't regret it. So without wasting further time, let's get started. Vinay, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Good morning, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Vinay. I'm from Ballari. I graduated in BCA in 2023.
Hmm.
Previously, I have done an internship in Intellipath company as a technical research analyst, where I worked on Python, NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib as a data analyst, and also I have tutored as a TA. And apart from that, I've been currently learning MERN stack from past 8 months. I've built a lot of projects,
Good.
uh, CRUD based projects. And apart from that, in the college, I have been the head of coding club. I organized events, and from that, my interest in coding actually picked up. So yeah,
Wonderful,
that's about it.
wonderful, wonderful, Vinay. See, as you told, like you have been doing a MERN stack, this one, right? MERN stack course. So,
Yes.
let us start with a simple scenario-driven question, Vinay. Okay. So let me draw. Yeah. So let's name this as like comment section. This is the video section, correct? This is the video
Yes, sir.
section. And here, I think if I have to compress it a little bit, here we will have all the suggestions, correct? Suggestion and other things. Okay, suggested videos. Okay, so now we'll start. I'll ask some very basic questions, Vinay, as you have done the
Yes,
Monstack
sir.
development and end to end. Let's say we have to build this screen, right? Let's start by answering question one by one. Let's say you have to build this video player. How you are going to do that, Vinay?
Okay. This is a video player. Video section is a video player, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now comments is fine. Okay, fine. So firstly, I'll break
No,
it
no.
down into
Let's get
components.
to like question by question. I'll ask. Let's say only let's stick to video section where you have to
Okay.
build a video player in a simple words.
Hmm.
Correct. How you are going to build a video player? Please tell me.
Okay. So yeah. So firstly, I think I know a Fmpeg package which
Okay.
allows us to render in different quality pixels, which we actually
Good.
get in YouTube. Even in
Hmm.
YouTube, actually, that is a package that is used in
Okay.
480 pixel, 720 pixel. We can choose the quality section.
Hmm.
So from using that, that will render us the quality of the video which we want. That's first thing. And apart from that, for the player, I think we can build a player as normal, like we can create a different component,
Yeah.
and we can, since video is also a set of images, ultimately we can use set timeout and also render the particular component for a particular section. Ultimately, if I would build it from the scratch, I
Hmm.
think the first thing that will come in my mind is breaking down the images into many parts, right? So
No,
else.
let's not get into that depth, Vinay. Let's say video is readily available on the server. Now we have to just play the
Okay.
video on the browser, right? Probably how
Okay.
you're gonna play. You told like you're gonna build the video player on your own, correct? Let's say you have to build the
Mm-hmm.
video player on your own. What is the first thing that you're gonna use? Which component or what is the thing that you'll use to build the video player?
Okay. Uh, First, I will just set up the utility file because
Okay.
I need it will be more usable for me.
Hmm.
Quality and the play pause buttons which we get, I'll be
Hmm.
working on that. And apart from that, if this looks for me very gruesome, I'll be like using any importing a package particularly.
Hmm.
But if it comes to building on myself, I think I'll break it down into utilities and finally use a particular use state component which will actually break down each video for a particular second, maybe in set time, not set time out. I think it will be set interval, which will help me
Hmm.
to do that.
Okay, sure. See, maybe I not sure whether I did not put it in the right way or not. If I have to build a video player, Vinay, I would have been using the basic video tag of HTML5. Will you not
Yeah,
be
yeah.
using it? You'll be using it, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course.
Yeah, because most of the things, whatever you told, comes by default with that particular video player,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. I thought to
Yeah.
build from the scratch how
Yes.
I'll go about it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no problem. But if we have, let's say, build, obvious thing, we all will be using the video tag itself, correct? So that
Yes, 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 sir.
both pause, play, and whatever the quality other things you told, fine. So now
Controlled.
we'll get into a actually full stack question, Vinay. Okay. As you see, we have comment section here, correct? So in
Yes, sir.
comment section, we will have like one master comment, and to one master comment, there'll be some replies, correct? There'll
Yes,
be a
sir.
reply here, and it goes forward, correct? Let's say somebody else can again respond to this particular comments, correct? See, there is a
Yes, sir.
one important thing that happens, Vinay, for very popular videos, right? Let's say whenever you are reading the comments itself, somebody else from the world can add comment to that, correct? Let's say we
Yes,
have
sir.
like comments 1 to 10. Let's consider like this is comment to 1 to 10, correct? So from we have comments from 1 to 10. Okay. So now we were reading the comments. Let's say 10 comments I read. By then, a new comment got added by somebody else. Correct? The newly added comment, where to show it? On top or bottom? Let's say you have to implement this feature because we have guaranteed to user probably we are going to show all the comments. Correct? That's the expectation. Whenever user comes to comment section, you should be able to see, you should not miss basically. Correct?
Yes,
So if you
yes.
have to architect this as a full stack developer, Vinay, how you are going to handle this comment section? Can you please tell me?
Okay. Um, Basically, the first thing that can be used is for a comment section, use state is common, but to call that use state continuously on its own, whenever there
Mm.
is a new comment added,
Correct.
either I'll use recursion, which will
Mm.
help me to do that.
Mm.
Uh, Apart from that, that will be set for the comment section because it's a simple function where we write a particular comment, just a input tag, and it
Mm.
will be calling itself.
Got
But
it.
showing the comments on the top or in the bottom, it's a I think I'll be showing it in the bottom
Mm.
because generally, as much as I have seen in YouTube, the list as always comes from the older comments or the most liked comments. So there is a particular filter for everything. So the
Yeah.
first filter, with there is no if there is no filter, I'll be showing the most recent comment in the bottom.
Mm.
But as per the filters, the user can select the most liked, the most disliked, or whatever. So based on
Yeah.
the filters, it can be shown.
Sure, Vinay. Okay, let me stop the whiteboard. See, I know like you're just starting your career, Vinay. You're not having so much experience. The whole point of asking such questions to you or all the freshers or who are just starting their career is to give you actually perspective, correct? So whenever you look at a system after this, looking at this interview, you should not look at a system like a developer. You should not look at a system like a user. You should look at a system like a
Yeah,
developer, correct? Probably how they might have
yeah,
built it. So every question may not have answer because I or you have not built the YouTube, correct? But
yeah.
definitely there'll be some things that we could think. Like we can come
Yes,
out
sir.
our own version of YouTube, right? If you have to build. That is the whole point of asking such questions. Because many would comment like fresher, you're asking like how to build YouTube. The intention is this. Okay. Please share your screen, Vinay. We will start with some
Yes,
some.
sir.
Yeah. So Vinay, this is the snippet, a very simple and straightforward snippet. As you know, this is just a JS file, we cannot run it. But I want you to like go to the snippet carefully and guess what is
Mm.
the output. Take a minute, look at the snippet carefully and guess the output.
So use state is declared, default value is 0,
Hmm.
and in use fact there is a empty dependency error, so it will run for the first time. And in use effect, okay, id, set interval, set count, okay, fine. So it will take the previous count every time and it will add a +1. So but the timer it will be repeating is uh, every 1 second it will be incrementing. So yeah, fine. But return, so clear interval is returned, so it will cancel out itself, I think, after 1 second. Yeah, so mostly the answer should be 1, but here I'll get 1, I guess. And in use effect, if count is equal to 5,
Yeah.
uh, count equals 5, clear interval id, count dependent on count, okay, this will return.
Yeah.
Hmm, okay, if count equals 5, clear interval, okay, fine, this is all fine. Cool. So yes, sir. So I think the first thing is from here, the default value is 0 in count.
Okay.
Great. But in use effect, there is an empty dependency array. and there's a set interval. So set interval repeat the same, print the same value which is inside the block. So set count will be repeated every 1 second.
Obviously.
So
Yes.
previous count is 0, so 0 plus 1, it
One.
will count, it will add up. But
Mm.
return a clear interval, this will end the interval, I think after completion of this.
Mm.
And yeah, if count equals 5, clear interval, I believe that this should not make any effect,
Mm.
uh, because after 1 second it will print the value like count, and it will end up the clear interval. So
Mm.
count will be only 1, so I don't think this statement will actually get executed.
Mm. Okay. We'll dig little deeper, Vinay. Okay. So we
Okay.
have a function app. In line number 3, we have created like count, set count, and you have kept initialized to 0. Correct. We
Yes,
have
sir.
two use effects, and second use effect. Line number 11 has a dependency array of count.
Yes.
Okay. So every time whenever the count is changing in line number 6, the second use effect should be
Mhm.
triggered. Correct.
Yes, sir.
So obviously, though it is coming to this block, correct? It may not be able to do something, but the control is
Yeah,
still
it will
coming.
come to this block, but count will never be 5. So I thought
Okay, you are
if
saying
this, if
after the set interval is done, it will go to line number
Mhm.
8 and it will clear the time interval, correct?
Exactly. Yes.
So I'll ask a very fundamental question, Vinay. So if what is actually written here, when what does it doing? You're clearing the timeout immediately after the set interval is initialized, or it will go back to the more basics. The whole purpose of introducing use effect was where we could combine the life cycle methods into one block, correct? If, for example, in the component did mount and component did unmount when we had in the class component, correct? Where
Yes,
you,
sir.
let's say you have to subscribe to an event, you would have done that in the component did mount, correct? The
Yes, sir.
unsubscribing part of it was happening in the component did unmount. So though the both are actually related to each other, we are keeping them in a two different blocks, correct? Component did
Yes,
mount,
sir.
component did unmount. So to overcome that problem, actually, use effect was one of the
Use
reasons,
effect was created. Yes.
correct? So to cup the
Yes.
things together. So now you are saying line number 8 return if it executes immediately after the ID, then how do I execute, like if I have to do something like unsubscribing part in use effect? Where can I do that? Or you are free to negate your answer and tell what is the answer.
Okay. I think this set interval will actually continuously execute this statement for every 1 second. But yeah, it will. But since there is a update of value in count,
Hmm.
the count value is updated. When it comes to 5, this clear interval will actually clear this interval, and
Hmm.
finally the value of clear interval is returned.
Hmm.
I think
See, according to
this makes
me,
more
that
sense.
line number 8 return whatever we have, right? That is executed whenever user leaves the current page. Component did unmount. Whenever unmount happening, right? That is the time when line number 8 get executed. You can correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think?
Yeah, 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 yes, sir. Okay, yes.
Putting other way, in our case where we have only one file, line number 8 almost has no effect.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now first the counter starts getting incremented, correct? In line number
Yes,
13, you have a clear timeout of ID, correct?
yes.
Actual output for this, according to you, Vinay, is what? Because okay, line
Since
number 16,
since
right?
we
Line number
we
16,
didn't
you put
print
the value of
anything.
count here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Put the value of count here. Because if you put the count in the beginning only, then it will be easy for you to guess the output. So I ask you to put some sentence. Okay. Yes. What will be the value?
So I think it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Then you are clearing the timer and it stopped. Correct?
Yes, yes.
Go back to the now the code sandbox. See,
Okay.
snippets like this are intentionally given to an extent to confuse the candidate. What is the output we are getting? Put the put the count here.
Okay. The thing is, yeah, it will update the value, obviously. But I said all the values.
Not that way. In line number 13, the expectation from you was line number 13, you are able to tell it is an error.
Error. Okay.
Why it is an error?
The ID, okay, it got incremented. The ID reference which is passed to ID variable, I think that didn't, that was not generated actually. So that is why it is saying ID is not defined.
Not that way. It is simple JavaScript concept of scoping, right? Const is available only in the scope. So between line number
Yes.
4 and 9, const ID is available. In line number 13,
Yeah.
ID is not available. Correct?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying
Yeah.
this is
Sure.
I'm not saying this is an easy snippet to answer for you or the audience, but I want you to answer in the next interview. Okay? We should not
It
make
was
silly
easy.
mistake like this. We should not make
It
a silly
was
mistake
easy.
like this. Okay? So that is the reason
Yes, sir.
I gave you this snippet. Now we'll solve a very interesting problem in React.js. Okay? I'm sharing the question in the chat section. If you wish, you could stop sharing and copy and
Yes, sir.
add it again. Okay? So this is a problem where I'll give you 15 minutes, Vinay. Okay? I want you
Okay.
to solve it end to end. Read the question, understand the question, first copy paste, and you can share so that audience first understand the question. Read the question carefully. Yourself an audience, look at the question, read it carefully. Can you do a little zoom in, Vinay? Control plus couple of times. Yes. So read the question carefully, understand it. You and the audience both can take 15 minutes to solve the problem. And if audience who are watching, if you solve the problem, please mention it, your GitHub URL, gist URL, or if you hosted somewhere in Code Sandbox, comment there. I'm going to personally review the code and tell whether that is right or not. Okay. Please read the question, Vinay.
Build a traffic light where the light switch from green to yellow to red after predetermined intervals and loop indefinitely. Each light should be lit for the following durations: red light 4 milliseconds, yellow light 5, okay. Green light 3 seconds. You are free to exercise or to style the appearance of the traffic light. Fine. So we'll be building a traffic light where the light switch from green to yellow to red
Yeah.
after a set intervals, just like they are mentioned. After every
Mm.
4 seconds, red light will be shown. Each light should be lit for the following duration. Red light will be shown for 4 seconds.
Mm.
Yellow will be shown for that is 5 milliseconds, and green light will be shown for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have last 5 minutes. I
That's
mean,
yes, sir.
so we have 2 more minutes, Vinay. You think you'll be able to solve? If not, at least we could discuss the solution.
We'll discuss the solution, sir.
Sure. See, considering the problem, whatever you wanted to solve, Vinay, correct? The problem is to an extent straightforward. We have 3 different lights. They show that particular light for a given duration of time, correct?
Mhm. Yes, sir.
So you have created like multiple set time modes with different duration, correct?
Yes. Yes.
What would have been the ideal approach? You might have not implemented, not a problem in the time constant. If you have to implement, like from the idealistic point of view, what would be your implementation, Vinay?
Oh, actually, I was able to only think of this way,
Sure,
to be
sure.
honest.
You can stop sharing, Vinay. Okay.
I didn't even get any other perspective as well.
No problem. No problem. Like considering, so far whatever the interview happened, Vinay, I'm gonna give my feedback. But before I give a feedback, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
No, sir, I just want to know the review
Sure.
of the entire
Sure.
thing.
See, Vinay, this is the first question was around that guessing the output on the use effect, right? So
Mhm.
the intentionally such questions are asked at front fresher to a mid-level experienced engineer, correct? Probably after a point it may not be very relevant. At your experience level, it will be relevant because how you basically interpret the code, correct? So where the ID is undefined or number of intervals, number of times the count is shown, etc. Correct? So where I'm coming from is look at the snippets and try to analyze as much as possible before giving an answer. Okay. So putting other way, if interviewer is like me, where answer do not matter a lot, but your explanation matter a lot. Let's say you would have told like the right answer. Let me some snippets will give you exact output, right? Like 3 or 4. You tell 3 and not 4. I'm not happy. Let's say 3 is the answer. You told 3. I'm not happy. I'm happy only if you give the right explanation why it is 3. Correct? It's not like
Yes,
Conrad
sir.
Crorepati, where you guess the answer and I'll give you money. Correct? The explanation has more value. There are times where people tell the wrong answer, but when after looking at the right answer, they amend the answer and explain like why it is. Even that is also fine. At least they're able to interpret after looking at the output. Correct? Though it is little subsidized compared to the guessing the output of the first time, but it is still better. Correct? That is first feedback. You and everybody who is watching at your level, please consider this. And another very important thing, Vinay, is especially whenever a machine coding question is given, like the one I asked the traffic timer, correct? Don't jump into solving the problem. This is not you. Even I used to do the same mistake whenever I started solving, right? Instead, break down the core logic in your mind, only then approach the problem. Okay. For example, in
Okay.
this particular case, how do we show a timer for a specific duration of time and do that indefinitely? That is the ask. Correct. If you are able to solve that problem, UI is a secondary. If you do UI very good, you get more marks. Even if you are not solving UI, still if you are able to solve this problem accurately, you're gonna get a good marks. You'll clear the interview. Correct. So to solve the crux of the problem somewhere on paper and pen or your mind, only then start the implementation. Don't get started busy building the basic UI, which you anyhow can do. Got my
Mm.
point, right? So
Yes, sir.
focus on this. These are my candid feedback, Vinay. If you have any other question, you're free to ask.
Mm.
Or overall, how was the session, Vinay? You felt is it useful?
Yes, sir, of course. Actually, I just wanted to know right now how I'm doing because I'll be giving further interviews.
Exactly.
So I wanted to know the negatives where I can work on, to be honest.
Exactly.
That was the whole point of the interview.
Exactly. Sure, Vinay. Thank you so much for that. And audience whoever is watching, like I recommend everybody to, especially if you're a fresher and you want to get started, right? Find somebody who is at your experience level and try to give as many mock interviews as possible. Definitely, you can approach people like me or somebody else on various different mentoring, paid and free mentoring platforms. But try to pair up with someone during the interview preparation. That will be very helpful for you. Okay. I'm sure you might have liked the video. If you like the video, please like the video. Share the videos with your friends. It might be useful for them. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, Career with Vasanth, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next video.